Here we go. Now Jericho was tightly shut because of the sons of Israel. No one went out and no one came in. The Lord said to Joshua, see, I have given you Jericho into your hands, with its kings and the violent warriors. You shall march around the city, all of men encircling the city once. You shall do so for 6 days. Also 7 priests shall carry 7 trumpets of ram's horn before the ark. Then on the 7th day, you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow the trumpets. Yes. It shall be that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people will go up, every man straight forward. Thus in the word of the Lord. If I may, for a few minutes, speak from the title, Is My Marching in Vain? Jesus. Is my marching in vain? The book of Joshua is the first of 12 historical books in the Old Testament. Joshua forges a link between the Potomac and the remainder of Israel's history. Through 3 major military campaigns involving more than 30 enemy armies, the people of Israel learned a crucial lesson under Joshua's capable leadership. Victory comes through faith in God and obedience to his word, rather than military might or numerical superiority. The first 5 chapters of Joshua describes the spiritual, moral, physical, and military preparation of Joshua and the people for the impending conquest of Canaan. The city of Jericho is where the Canaanites had dwelled for some time. Its location is near both the Jordan River and the Dead Sea. It is regarded as one of the world's oldest cities, going back as far as 7000 BC. The city's huge walls around serves as a protective barrier. However, it has presented an even greater challenge for those armies looking to overthrow the city. Joshua, the son of Nun, under Moses served as his minister of business. Moreover, Joshua, under Moses' tutelage, had learned a great deal while still remaining faithful to God, as well as Moses. Yes. Upon Moses' death, God had deemed Joshua successor of Israel. In Numbers chapter 27, verses 15 to 23, speaks about such an appointment. But when we reflect back over our lives, comparing ourselves to Israel with their ongoing struggles, but on a personal level, every day in some form, we were born to deal with life's trials and tribulations. Every day, in every way, there are men that are trying to be better fathers, better husbands, better role models, and finally better mentors. But in the midst of bettering ourselves, just like the next brother, we find ourselves swimming in a sea of chaos. Yet we struggle to do the right thing in spite of immense pressure to do the opposite. We often wonder why and how stuff trips us up, causes such turmoil in our own homes. The world has placed certain walls of sin and snares of deception right before us. However, as we continue to fight the good fight, as we continue to lean and depend on the Most High God, while we sit up in the midnight hour praying to God for answers, let alone closure on certain requests, one might wonder, Lord, is my marching in vain? Joshua wrestles with being the successor of Israel. But God finally eased his mind by encouraging him. You know, when you go through something, it's always good to pick up a phone and someone there to encourage you. A sister, a brother, a pastor, a deacon. But this was Joshua's time. One can be overwhelmed by such appointment. He was chosen to lead a country. Not a city, but a country. Joshua 1:6 says, and this was the Lord speaking, be strong and of good courage. For to this people you shall divide as an inheritance the land which I swore their fathers to give. It was then that Joshua received his orders as well as reassurance to go forth and complete what Moses had begun. In our first verse, Jericho was completely sealed around its perimeters, with no one going in and no one coming out. From a battle standpoint, the Canaanites felt safe and secure, but putting their trust, putting their faith in a huge wall made of mortar. However, God saw this isolation as a disadvantage to the Canaanites and an advantage for Israel. With no way of escape, the Canaanites would become easy prey in the eyes of the Lord. As we continue with verse 2.